Welcome back, everyone, to Automation Days Asia 2022. My name is Jeremy, and I'll be the host for this session. So, again, just to share, to keep things more interesting and interactive, I highly encourage all of you to use the question button on the right hand side of your screen to ask as many questions as you can, because we'll be allocating some time at the end of the sharing session to answer your questions. Okay? So, without any further delay, let me introduce our speaker. Nivarthana is currently working as a software engineer at T3 with a degree in computing and information systems. She has experience in designing and developing solutions for problems in different domains by actively engaging in different projects, mainly in telecommunication and banking. She has been a speaker and presenter in technical talks and conferences around the world. So, in this session, Nivarthana will be discussing how data science is applied in process mining to increase efficiency, process automation, to ensure the advantages of process mining are gained in the most efficient way. And she will also cover broader use cases on the topic to make the session more understandable and informative. So, Nivarthana, whenever you are ready, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jeremy.
Welcome.
Yeah. So before moving forwards, I would like to tell why I chose this topic. Because after working from home for more than 2 years, we know what were the weaknesses in our processes. So process mining has occupied a top role in agendas of many organizations due to that reason, because from process mining we can add value to processes, to human effort and the business. So going forward, what is this process mining? So without jargon or complicated explanations, simply process mining is the extraction of patterns and insights from event logs in information systems to get to know what exactly goes inside a real process. So we can get to know what are the bottlenecks, what is really happening inside a real process. So why we should need process mining in our businesses? So mainly process mining is to discover, model and monitor and even optimize the underlying processes, and also to identify the potential bottlenecks. Mainly, for example, if you get a railway ticketing system and you get 10 days to reserve a ticket, there's a bottleneck. So through this process mining, we can identify where the ticket is getting delayed from. So where is the bottleneck, and we can address to that before it costs us with money and effort. And all of us know inefficient processes bog down the enterprise. For example, stat shows 37% of delayed delays for digital transformation are reported due to unclear processes. So from clear processes, you can save up that 37% and go for more efficient outcome. So process mining solves all these problems by bringing in transparency, increasing efficiency, and even reducing cost. So in the slides to come, I will explain you how this brings transparency, increase efficiency, and even reduce cost. So now you might have a problem. Now this is process mining, and again there is data science. So where do these two things combine? So in the modern world, everything is big data. So simply everyone, including you and me, have a digital twin. Everything we do online is leaving a digital print behind, and every second a, a numerous terabytes of data is being created. So all the processes have to deal with big data. So obviously process mining comes aligned with data science. And if I say that simply, process mining indeed is the intersection of business process management, and data science. So, where we apply data science to dig deep into processes and get insights so that we can use it to make our managerial decisions much better, and we can give outcome much better with much better insights. So and when it comes to relation to data science, when we come to elaborating more, this is a screenshot from a process mining software. There are actually two types of things that you can do uh, to mine your process. You can do process mining. There are two types of ways. One is to use software, the other is to use algorithms. So by using anything, you get an output with diagrams and stat like this. So from that, you can understand what is the pattern of the data, what are the potential bottlenecks that are available, and what are the performance laggings that are available inside. So all these things you can monitor with your process mining. So from that, you can avoid your business from getting drowned. And now I will explain you what is data, what are the techniques that we can use in process mining, whether it's software or whether it's an algorithm, whether you do coding or you do the software which is available. So the four techniques are data extraction and management, data preparation, the visual analysis, and the optimization of the process. Data extraction and management means to get a 360 view of the process, you need real data, a real sample of data. So you cannot have data from different populations and different samples which has no relation to each other. So the data should be obtained. For example, it could be a certain time period, or it could be certain events from a certain process, or it could be certain case IDs, something like that. You have to go with some formula when extracting your data and managing it. Then comes to data preparation. The people who are familiar with data science might know this. Uh, for others, it is kind of like preparing your data for the decision makers, data scientists, management, or anyone. It's like getting rid of anomalies and preparing your data so that we can put it through visual analysis and see what we can optimize in the process. So the next process is visual analysis. After putting that data into our algorithm or our software, we get the graphs, patterns, or something, some visual analysis where we can get an insight of the patterns that has occurred through these events. So which will help us to make decisions and even see what really has happened inside the process. So optimization of the process means when you understand what the process has gone through, what are the bottlenecks and what are the points that we can improve, and we can add certain variants and like move them up and down and see how we can optimize the process by adding different components. So I know now you have an idea about the techniques. Now let's see how we can apply them more practically. So if you get the where the data comes from, the data comes to a table or raw data sheet or CSV, Excel, something from the event logs of an information system. So the information system can be a website or a software where a process takes place. Process is a set of activities that takes place to achieve a certain task. Let's let's as an example, let's take we raise a ticket. There our ticket will be checked, and after that it will be approved or it will get rejected, whether we'll be receiving compensation or not. So from this dashboard, we extract that data. So we get data within this time period, from these sessions and these users, these users within this date and time period. Okay, then we get a table like this. This is simply a simple data log, but you have to observe here. If you get what we need is a case ID, event, and timestamp. So everything that we need is not in the same the name we need, and there are also duplications. So that's where we have to go for data preparation to get rid of duplications and to make the data look like make the data optimized the way we want it to. So when we go for data preparations, uh, I'm here, as I said before, there are two ways that we can go. So here I'm gonna use code. So here we are uh, reading our CSV file, and we differentiating our timestamp column and sorting the values. So, and then when going for the visual analysis, there are softwares like IBM, Selenoid, UiPath, and Minute. And there are different process discovery algorithms, including alpha miner, heuristic miner, inductive miner. So I'm using alpha miner. So when you go for visual analysis, so you have to add a simple code like this to the end of the code where you prepared your data from the Python file. So then you get a diagram like this. So the di- so a diagram like this. What is this? It's from alpha miner. What you get is a footprint of the activities that you go through, like a Petrina diagram. So you have a place where you enter the process and you end the process. So one drawback is that you cannot go through loops in this through this algorithm, but you can directly see where the where you stand in the process and how the process is flowing. So if you for example, if you get, you can check the ticket and decide. So and decide then whether to pay the compensation or reject it. So if you go to pay this pay compensation or reject the request, the process ends. Or if you reinitiate it, you go through another examine. Likewise, it shows what you go through in the process through a diagram. So when optimizations comes, so in that you can change a visualizer parameter, and then you can get more details about your diagram. So and you can work on what to optimize on your diagram. So that is how we do it with alpha miner. So similarly, we can do it more easily with the software as well. So, and as I promised earlier, I promised that I will go through use cases which will support you, uh, to understand more on what happens inside this process mining. So, for example, let's take business process improvements. So for that, how you can use process mining. So you take a business process and you do process mining, and you get the diagram of how the process is as is. So what are the performance laggings in the process? What are the places where the process has got delayed? And what are the places that process can be improved to provide more easiness to the end user as well as for the business. So from that, we can add more value to the business process and improve it. As I said, optimize it by using the techniques I told you before. And when taking auditing and compliance, simply it is mainly done manually using software or um, manual stationery and stuff. But you can also automate it, make it go through a process, so you can directly understand what are the events that has taken place, and uh, and which event has taken place for what time, what was the performance, and what was the KPI. Monitor it, model it, and then we can in the same way we can see whether there is a way to optimize it. So, as an example for IT operations optimization, I can give you a CI/CD pipeline. I hope you know continuous integration and continuous deployment, where the software development teams use in automating their deployments. So they don't have to configure every time they go for a release, and they can minimize human errors within the development release cycle. So that is an IT operations optimization. You have identified how to develop a pipeline for the developers to work collaboratively, and for them to commit to their branch, and then to merge the correct code, and it goes automatically for testing, and then for the staging, and then for the production. So everything happens seamlessly in a streamlined process when process mining is done and identified what should be done uh, to achieve more through that process. So that is an excellent use case for for the achievements of process mining. So, and let's take process automation. How can we go for process automation through process mining? So, let's say there is a process. There is a uh, doctor appointment process which goes on manually. So you can identify what are the events that goes along in that process, and you can identify what are the user stories that you can make to take them to a software, and you can make them go automatically uh, through with few interactions from the patient and the doctor and the management. So we can save much time, and we can gain more efficiency. And also all these things together sorry goes for digital transformation. So digital transform excuse me digital transformation is a good example of process mining. How the digital twin is made, how the processes are automated and improved more to take them to a digital level. So when going as the last As the last step of this presentation, I would like to take some more time and more emphasis on this, because this is this is very important as much as what was earlier in this presentation. Because uh, when people think it's automation, people usually management and the leads and us, we think everything should be digitalized, everything should be automated, and everything uh, should get rid of human. It's not like that. We should first identify what humans can do and what machines can do. For example, humans are good with logical decisions. Humans are good in making own decision through logics and intuition, and they are good with creativity and connecting with other humans. And machines are good in repetitive tasks, and even they are good in understanding patterns in bulks of data, large number of data, which if you hand over to a human, it might be a human error. So there are things that machines are capable of than humans, and there are things that humans are capable of compared to machines. So first of all, within our automation processes, we should make sure to give the relevant place and task to the relevant people, because the entire story about automation is to empower our business and to empower what humans are doing. So as a result of automation, we as a business may result in cost cutting, but cost cutting should not be the one and only motive when for you to go for automation and process mining. So what here are the tips that you can follow. Build trust with transparency. So let's say if you are using AI, artificial intelligence, within your organization to make certain decisions or for certain repetitive activities, always make sure to give an output why that decision was made, why why my artificial intelligence program made that decision, why uh, what are the scenarios that led the program to this decision. So the end user would trust it more, and it would automatically be absorbed to the process. And also make sure that AI is a collaborator by default. It's not an enemy. Usually, as I first said, when when people say automation, uh, they go like, "What if a robot replaces my work? What happens to me?" It's not like that. The bots and the business automation processes, they all help you to empower what's going, empower your activity, add more value to your human activity. So AI is a collaborator, not an enemy. It is not for firing. It is to add value and to empower your work. And stay competitive by staying human. So as you know, there are instances where business processes can achieve more than humans. But when connecting to a customer and when going through human relationships, no one can do it better than humans. So if your organization should go for, is to benefit more in business, I suggest when you're going for automation and when you're going for process mining, you should always be human centric. you be human centric, and add the essence of process mining, artificial intelligence, and data science to your activity, so that your process can be more efficient and be more and be and have more quality as well. Because there is no use if your efficiency increases, if your performance increases at the cost of the experience. So as we come to the end of the presentation, this time is for your questions. Jeremy?
Yeah, thank you so much, Nivarthana, for the great sharing session. So we still have some time left, and we have actually quite a few questions. So let me start with the first question first. If I will just project the question on the screen.
Okay.
Okay.
Shall I stop sharing my screen now?
Yeah. Okay. So the first question is process mining done by data scientists or analysts, and is it difficult to start with this?
Is process mining done by data scientists or analysts? And is it difficult? No, it's not. That's why I thought I will go from the scratch so that anyone could understand and start doing it. So you have to be a data scientist if you're doing it with code, but with the simple learning of Python, you can even do it with code. There are software, as I told you, IBM, Selenium, UiPath. With in those things, you have free trials. From them, you can try. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to be a data scientist or analyst.
I see. So there's no specific role that, if you are data scientist or analyst only, you can do process mining. It's something that is
Yeah,
like what you shared. It can be picked up by anyone if we are interested in a topic, right?
yeah, yeah, Jaren.
Okay.
Because every one of us go through real life processes every day. So
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll move on to the next question. One second. Okay. So what kind of background or training should you do for process mining? Any recommendation or advice for this person?
um, I would there's a course in Coursera for process mining and application of data science, where they systematically teach you what are the data science techniques that you use for process mining, and how do you do process mining.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend that. And yeah, uh, that was my start to learn process mining, so I would recommend that.
Okay, thank you for that. Then we'll go to the next question coming from Brian. Let me project that to the screen. So, based on your slides, process mining involves data science and process science. What is your advice for someone who would like to become an expert in process mining? Should we start to learn about data science first or process science first?
I would say you have to learn a process science first. You have to learn what a process is, what are the components in a process, what you can do with the process,
Mhm.
and then you learn data science and you understand how to connect the two.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Thanks for that. Then we move on to the next question. So when you talk about business process improvements, do you mean that process mining to be used for identifying bottleneck in as is process? Let me project that to the screen. Maybe you can read it.
Yeah. Mm, yeah. But we are finding bottlenecks in as is process, and so we are doing optimizations to be process.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question. We have two more questions left. Let me project that to the screen. Okay, so what are the prerequisites for process mining? Anything we should watch out for or pitfalls?
Pitfalls in the sense?
Um, I'm not sure because it's not elaborated here, but yeah, it's just in general, is there anything maybe you could share with them if they were to go into like process mining? Is there anything maybe they should actually watch out for, or any obstacles
Mm,
or challenges, things like that, that you can share throughout your experience?
mm, Let me share with them that course.
You put this in the chat.
Yeah,
Yep.
as a reply to this.
Yeah, very nice. That would be great. Okay.
Yeah, only this would be enough for you to go. There are plenty of videos and articles, interesting articles, because it's a trending topic these days. With the base of this, you can go forward.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the last question. Let me project that to the screen. Okay, so how frequent should we review on those process we have put in place? What kind of governance process we need to put in place as best practice?
That's a very complicated question, actually. Yeah, no, it's a good question. But the thing is, it depends. I would answer it depends.
Mhm,
How frequent should be decided depending on your process and your domain and your KPIs and the factors that affecting your process and your business goals. So we cannot tell that every process should be monitored weekly or monthly. That
mhm,
depends on your KPIs
mhm.
and your business goals.
So it's case to case basis, right? Really depending
Yeah,
on yeah, what your organization would like to do.
yeah,
Yep. Okay, so basically, I think we are done with the questions. Any last minute questions from any of you? Please feel free to just put in there. Let's see. All right, I think that's all. But if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to Nivarthana, maybe through LinkedIn. I think it's okay, right?
yeah,
Ask us questions about process mining.
yeah.
And with that, I'd like to thank you once again for joining Automation Days Asia 2022 as a speaker. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you very much, Jeremy, for the opportunity, and sorry for the hiccups because
No
of my.
problem.
Okay.
All right, so for the rest of you, let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, if you can see my screen, we have three upcoming sessions in track 1, 2, and 3. So you can choose from any of them. So for track 1, the topic will be about low code automation workflows for every organization. For track 2, accelerating data driven outcomes with automation, data ops, cloud, and workflow orchestration. And for track 3, overcoming operational challenges and barriers to scale in automation projects. So please feel free to join in any of those sessions, and I'll see you there shortly. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.